Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about One Piece chapter 938, and I enjoyed this chapter quite a bit, honestly. So I'm just going to kind of go from kind of the bottom up a little bit here. So bombshell at the end is that Komurosaki is in fact Hiyori, Momonosuke's sister from 20 years ago. Shock of shock, she's royalty. Really? This seems like a non-reveal, I guess, in some capacity. It's the kind of thing where as soon as Komurosaki was kind of established and we got to know her a little bit, something seemed up, especially with her relationship with Kyoshiro. And then when she got killed, something seemed further up. So it was just like, it was only a matter of time before they revealed who she really is and why she just does not give two F's about Orochi. So it's not crazy surprising, but it's nice to have some confirmation, finally, that she is Momonosuke's sister, Oden's daughter, from 20 years ago. She survived. We don't know if their mom survived, but she definitely did, so hey, we'll see how things go. And yeah. So she's looking for Momonosuke, and that's basically the cliffhanger of it all, where it's just like, she reveals that she's Hiyori Kozuki, and that she's looking for Momonosuke, and this is all coming on the heels of Zoro getting into a fight with one Gyokimaru, basically a guardian of a bridge, and the kind of bounty hunter dude that pretends to be a regular criminal, but is actually a hitman or something for Orochi. So he got into a fight with those two. He actually got hurt, and he's kind of upset about that, honestly. And as I was reading, like, he said something along the line of, oh man, just as we're getting close to the big battle, this is not good timing. I agree with him. I was sympathizing with him that he just wanted to get his sword back, and it devolved into this awful, okay, now he's hurt, and it's sucky. Zoro is not the sharpest knife in the drawer, evidently, but he does have a good battle sense, I guess, obviously, and he knows that, like, getting hurt before a big battle is not great, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that he, at the very least, understands, damn, really? Now, he just wanted his sword back. That's all he wanted. So we learn a little bit about Gyokimaru, too. So it turns out that he basically shows up at that bridge whenever somebody with weapons tries to cross over it. So there's really no rush for Zoro to get out and try to fight him and whatever, because he'll be there if he needs him. And that's a pretty convenient for Zoro, honestly. And there's actually some pretty funny parts with, like, Zoro's shoulders all messed up from getting a scythe in him, and that's pretty messed up. And he tries to leave, and Hiyori is like, no, you can't. And she grabs his arm, and it's not good. It's clearly hurting him. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And she backs off, and I thought it was pretty funny slapstick comedy with Zoro and being angry at her and whatever. So that's basically what's going on with Zoro. He was with Hiyori, who just revealed herself as Hiyori, and with Toko, who makes this, like, she's a really funny girl. I actually like Toko a lot, and I've wondered this for the longest time since she was introduced. Her name is Toko, but then the honorific kind of puts in front of, so it's an Otoko, but Otoko means boy or, like, man, and she kind of, like, she explains, but I'm not a man, and she laughs it off. I really, like, the comedy of that is pretty good. I got a really good chuckle out of that one, especially since I was thinking it beforehand, like, that means boy or guy, like, at least she knows that her name is kind of ludicrous. Anyways, so that's what's going on with Zoro, and that's actually the end of the chapter, and I just wanted to cover that because that's a pretty big bombshell. But overall, this chapter is basically all hell is breaking loose. Orochi and Kaido seem to know what's going on, or at least have an inkling. They're sending Hawkins and Drake to look for people that have the tattoo on their ankles, and they seem to have, at the very least, realized that the flyers that they were handing out mean something bad for Orochi and Kaido, or at the very least that there's a rebellion going on. So everybody's hunting people down that have any kind of tie to the Kozuki or this rebellion, and everything's kind of going crazy. Meanwhile, you have our main cast and crew trying to figure out what the hell is going on here, who snitched on them, and it's just no good. And okay, so this is kind of slightly unrelated to that whole situation, but there's this part with Sanji and Nami, and she basically just beat his face up because of what happened in the last couple of chapters. He was obviously peeping on the women in the bathhouse, and she's not too happy about that, and he just doesn't seem to get it. And Frankie makes a comment like, "How do you make a face change form like that?" And there's some good comedy in this chapter. I actually really got like a nice, at least, inner chuckle from each thing that they joked around about. In any event, things are not looking too great. Law's crew is basically captured. Obviously, Luffy is in prison doing his own thing. Everybody's on the run now. Now that they are basically outed. At one point, they had the kind of the element of surprise. But now that Orochi and Kaido and Hawkins and Drake know people are in the Wano, it's going to be really hard for them to get any kind of traction going again, especially when everything's falling apart. So, just before we cut away from Nami and the crew, just kind of like figuring out what the heck is going on, Shinobu's basically pointing the fingers at everybody, especially Beppo, and saying that, oh, they must have snitched or whatever. Law's like, no way, they would die before they said anything. Kanjuro kind of calms her down, and suddenly that big-headed, smiley-face guy that is kind of like Toko, where he's laughing all the time, comes up and shows them the flyer and says, hey, I heard some stuff, you guys going to war? And they don't really cover like whether he's like good or bad, but I get the feeling that maybe he's good, and maybe something good will come out of him realizing that this is a rebellion of some sort. Maybe he's one of the old samurai or something, and they just didn't recognize him because he looks so weird. I don't know, but we shall see, I guess. Another thing that we get is in this chapter is Kyoshiro hanging out at the kind of pleasure house, and I guess Komurasaki's funeral was canceled due to all the craziness that's happening around the capital, and people would just be angry if it went off or if it didn't, and nobody's gonna be happy about it. And he's just basically chilling, and he's got the slip of paper with the symbol on him, and he's like, I bet this piece of paper is what's getting Orochi's pants in a bunch. Like, he had to do what he had to do with Komurasaki, but hey, I bet this is the real issue. And again, I have no freaking doubt. So first of all, obviously Hiyori is alive. Komurasaki, Hiyori, whatever you want to call her, obviously she's alive. Obviously she's Momonosuke's sister, and obviously there's something up here. So Kyoshiro clearly is going to be a good guy. Eventually he will join Straw Hat Law, the Kozuki clan, rebellion. Eventually it'll come to a head where he has to join them, and it turns out that he's really on the good guy's side. Whether he survives this, I don't know. Granted, not many people actually die in One Piece, so we shall see. However, I'm looking forward to seeing him working with like Zoro or somebody, doing some really cool stuff. Because I like Kyoshiro as like kind of like an anti-hero. He's kind of rough around the edges, but he's actually a good guy, and clearly he saved Hiyori, so that accounts for something, right? I feel like I've been jumping around this chapter a lot, but honestly, I just wanted to cover bits and pieces from it. I thought overall it was a pretty decent chapter, and although the bombshell reveal, I guess, at the end with Hiyori is really good, even though it's like kind of like saw it coming from a mile away, I thought overall it was pretty decent. The pacing was good. I liked all this comedy that was going on with Toko and Sanji and Zoro, and I thought overall it was pretty decent. I'm hoping that I didn't miss anything, because I kind of like went over like the broad strokes of when I was making a list of things that I wanted to talk about. There are probably some things here and there, but maybe let me know if I missed anything down below in the comment section, and also let me know if you enjoyed this chapter. What do you think about what's going on? Do you think the Straw Hats are kind of getting pushed up against a corner, or against a wall rather, because now their entire plan's kind of unraveling? Even though, honestly, Kanjuro's right. Things don't always go your way, so sometimes you need to adapt. But yeah, things are kind of getting crazy. Let me know what you think about this chapter and everything down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. It lets me know that you guys are enjoying these videos. and I'll do more of them if you are. I'll probably do more of them even if you aren't, but I will do more of them even more so if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It'll let you know whenever I upload via notifications. Well, I hope that you guys have a great day. See you later.